Ethan can't get his hand like.
Put his hands down.
So throwing is something that we didn't just invent. You know, it's a slow process that's evolved over many thousands of years. So it's not that cartoon situation where, like, you know, like you see about inventing the wheel. Like, you know, some guy just makes a wheel and then doesn't know what to do with it. It's a case of it's slowly evolving. So the actual properties of clay, in a way, is responsible for inventing throwing, because of the way it works. So you can imagine in the early days people would probably just start with a ball of clay and then sort of stick their thumb in the middle of it and then start to hollow it, going around and around, making a cup or a bowl or something. And gradually people would start adding things to that making process. So somebody might find, well, it's quite useful to have a big stone that you work on, put your pot in there and you can make a bigger pot. And they start realising that, well, if the stone is a certain shape, it kind of moves and you can turn it around. And then as they become more dexterous, because every skill that humans learn, you get better and better and better at it the more you repeat that skill, whatever it is. As people started becoming more adept at working with clay, they started realising, well, that stone that they were making, turning the pot onto when they were pinching it or coiling it, whichever method they used, if that moves a little bit faster, they can just hold their hand and they can sort of shape it. So that obviously, if some other guy might see that and say, oh, I have an idea, why don't we put this rock on a stick in the ground in a hole and then you can turn it like that. And then they realised, oh, well, that's interesting, because you can actually, instead of just sticking bits of clay on it, you can just start with a ball of clay and make a hole and just push it up. And so that's how throwing evolves. Okay, you're coming up to 5 minutes now. So you're doing really well at that. That's like almost half the time. You can almost afford to just make sure. Actually, no, don't, because I think you get better. No more fat.